Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to I've Got Something to Say. My name is Mark Stevenson, and you're joining us on tonight's show. We have some vital information that we want to share with you. So I want you to grab a pen and write this stuff down because it's going to be very useful to you. Today, we have a wonderful guest that's going to share some good stuff with you. His name is Eugene Dillanado. Welcome, Eugene.
Thank you, Mr. Stevenson. It's a pleasure being here.
Look, you can call me Mark, and come on.
Mark.
I'm going to tell you something. We are so excited to have you because we understand that you have a new directory and you call it the Black Pages. Now, before you explain what the Black Pages are, because I'm only used to the Yellow Pages, I tell you, the Yellow Pages, between the Yellow Pages and the Yellow Book, I'm confused enough. And now you're telling me that I have to use something called the Black Pages, and I want to know why. But I've looked up some information, and I was reading Tavis Smiley's book on accountability, and he also wrote The Covenant. And in his book, he describes how the African American spending power in this nation is $1.2 trillion, Eugene. $1.2 trillion are spent by black people on all types of things. Some things are foolish because the money just goes out of the African American community. We understand that that less than 50 cents gets recirculated one time in the black community. And in other communities, for example, the Jewish community will take that dollar and circulate it 12 times, according to Tavis Smiley, 12 times, Eugene, before that dollar escapes their community. That means that the plumber spends it with the barber, who spends it with the butcher, who spends it with the person that is coming in to shovel their snow. All types of things, but that dollar circulates through their community many more times, and we're going to find out what's happening with the dollar in the African American community. Also, Pepper Miller, Eugene, she talks about in her book, What's Black About It, how the African American dollar is spent and how dollars are focused, and how the African Americans are influenced by things like labels and so forth. How African Americans spend all of their money on things because the Joneses have it next door, and they have to make their things match that label. Michelle Alexander finally writes in her book about the new Jim Crow, about the weakness of the book is actually about people who have been incarcerated and trying to reintegrate into the community.
Yes.
But I think that has an awful lot to do with the things that you are trying to do with your book. But first of all, I'm going to give you a chance here to tell us about the Black Pages and just answer us about this wonderful book. But it's awful thin. It doesn't look to me like a Yellow Pages. I mean, it looks like a regular magazine. Why is there a need for the Black Pages, Eugene?
Well, you said something in terms of our spending power and our lack of use of that spending power. You mentioned the Jewish community and how they understand thoroughly that the quality of life in their community is directly related to how you spend your dollars, how you utilize your time, how you cultivate relationships with business owners. So those of you who are watching, do you have a relationship with a business owner? And we say with Black Pages, we're looking for discriminating consumers, investors who understand that by cultivating relationships with other business owners, they can control and direct the quality of life in their community. And by not doing so, they're held accountable. So what is going on in our communities insofar as the crime, the death rate, the infant mortality, all of that is related to how you utilize your time and your dollars. So when you see that those lack of services that you don't get is directly related to how you utilize your time and your dollars. It's up to you.
Wait a minute, Gene. A lot of black people, they'll be telling you. They'll be writing in and calling in and telling you that it's hard to do business with another black man. He's not reliable. He's not dependable. He's not going to do what he's promised to do. And if you're going to spend your money, you don't want shady service, so you want to take your money outside of the community. Why is it so hard, Eugene, for an African American to spend that dollar with another African American?
First of all, that is a generalization.
Is it?
That is a generalization.
Prove it.
Okay, there in my directory right here, there are distinguished business owners that if you would take the time to call them up, to go to their business and shop, and to become a discriminating purchaser, then you may find out, or may or not, let the buyer beware. So our position is, don't generalize. Call them up yourself, shop at some of the businesses that are in our community, and determine whether or not the product or the service that they deliver is up to par.
Have you been to all of these places, or have you only been there to sell them ad space?
Many of them I have used. I've used some of the plumbers, I've used some of the roofers, I've used some of the insurance companies. Many of these businesses I use personally. Obviously, there are hundreds of businesses in my directory, even thousands in my online directory, that it's impossible for me to get to all of them. So what we have done, we have formed within our group a group of women who call themselves the Empowerment Rendezvous. And they go out, 15 or 20 of them, and they each month they target a business owner that they go and shop with.
That's something else. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in right now, I'm speaking with Eugene Dillanado. My name is Mark Stevenson, and we're going to get to the real truth about this Black Pages. We're going to find out why, but let me let you know a little bit about Mr. Dillanado. He is an international representative of peace, health, and wealth. He is the publisher of Black Pages International. He mentioned that there's an online version, and we'll talk about that more in a second, which has a lot more businesses that are than are listed right here. But his mobile phone directory is committed to connecting consumers and investors to African American businesses, in particular businesses that want to go globally. Now, he's also a member of the Toastmasters Club at the Christ Universal Temple in Illinois, and he's the author of How to Maximize Your Intellectual Capital. He's also a playwright. He wrote a couple of plays back in the day, and The Fuzzy Wuzzy Man as well, and these are going to be staged here in Chicago in 2013, this year. Eugene, I really need to know about this Black Pages thing. Aren't there other, I've seen something else called the Black Book. I've seen other black business directories online, and I've seen things like the Wall Street Group, the Black Wall Street Group, and so forth. There are many different groups. What makes yours so different from theirs?
Well, we have evolved from the Black Book. The Black Book started maybe 30 years ago. And my mentor came out with the Black Pages in 1988, and he passed in 2007. And so we subsequently morphed to what you see now, which is not just a directory. You see at the front of our book, we have perhaps 15 profiles of some very distinguished business owners. And what they provide is a profile in terms of how they are thriving in the midst of a so-called recession. The best practices that they're utilizing enables them to do well. And our position is, what makes our directory different is, we go after a niche market. We go after those consumers/investors who want to see a sense of pride, self-reliance, and ownership. And subsequently, they are seeking black business owners who can deliver on that. Now, just because you open up your doors does not guarantee that you're going to provide a quality product or service, but it is the consumer/investor's responsibility to go out and invest and to determine if that product or service is worth their money and their time.
I see. Eugene, answer me this about the economic value of shopping black if you're black. I want to let you know, I live in Inglewood, And they tell us in Inglewood, the news quoted that there was a 31% unemployment rate. However, I did my own study. Last summer, I stood on the corner of 63rd and Western, and I asked 610 people about their employment and how much they were making, and found out there was 86%. So the government, the city is telling us, and the state and the federal government as well have told us that nationwide we're at 9%. Well, that might be in your community, but it's not in our community. That's for real. When I talk with 610 people, and 86% of them tell me that they are unemployed, and then another 10% tell me that they are making $10 or less per hour, how are they going to have enough money to even shop at these businesses? That's one question. The other one, Eugene, is if they do shop at these businesses, do you see more African Americans being able to become employed with jobs that can pay them livable wages?
Well, my answer is simply this. Each of us was blessed with a talent or a skill.
Yes, sir.
God gave each of us a talent or a skill. And so it's your responsibility to discern that and to put it together and to market it and promote it. That's the primary difference I see between our community in 2013 as opposed to what it was, let's say, in the 1950s. In the 1950s, we were more prone to go into business for ourselves. By the way, who founded the city of Chicago? The answer, Jean-Baptiste DuSable. Jean-Baptiste DuSable was a trader. So where's the commerce? Where's the trades? Where are the transactions between individuals?
Well, actually, Jean DuSable, he did not found Chicago. He opened up a business right at the mouth of the Chicago River. And yes, he was a black man that traded furs and so forth, but Chicago wasn't incorporated till much later, is what they will tell you.
Sure.
So Chicago didn't become a city until it was incorporated by other people. The fact is that in our community, what will happen in your view, Eugene, if we don't circulate this African American dollar a little more?
We will continue to go to prison. We'll continue to go to the cemetery. Those are our options. At this point, either we discern our life's purpose, begin to trade and to share our intellectual capital, our value with each other, or we perish. Those are our choices.
So just like a person that is on drugs, you only have three choices, three routes: jails, institution, or death. If you are equating this, are you actually equating not shopping in our community with a person being condemned to go to jails, institution, and have an early death?
There is linkage between that.
Linkage.
And the link is this: when you don't know your own value and you don't exercise that value in terms of creating products or services, I'm talking about intellectual capital is the forerunner of what? Intellectual property, trademarks, copyrights, patents. Now, if you don't understand that, then you don't understand that you are a creator, and it is your responsibility to create the quality of life within your own household, on your block, and in your community. Now, since the 1950s, prior to integration, there were more of us who opened up businesses of that sort. And my proof is this. This directory is in 1995.
That's a lot larger.
It's a lot larger. This directory is 360 pages. So since the year 1995 to the year 2013, there has been a reduction of 80% of the businesses that were once in this city. Where did they go?
Wait a minute. Are you saying that these businesses have closed down, or are you saying that they just stopped advertising in the black pages?
A little of both. Because in order for them to be able to afford to advertise in our print directory, they had to have customers and clients.
To advertise in your print directory, is there a cost associated?
There's a cost to it.
Well, I guess so. It's a cost to advertise in the Yellow Pages and the Yellow Book. What about a cost to the consumer of the directory itself? Is there a cost?
The book is free.
Where is it distributed?
The book is distributed discriminately in those communities where we believe that it will be used. We don't do like we used to in the old days, just throw it up and hope that something catches, because it is too costly for us.
Are you accepting any government subsidies
No.
to print this book?
No.
This is all. So how are you? So you're doing this all with the subscriptions?
With
Is that right?
advertisers. Advertisers pay rates to be in our directory, to be on our front cover. There's a cost.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in, my name is Mark Stevenson. I'm talking with Eugene Dillanado, and he is the publisher of the Black Pages. He's educating us today on how to shop in our own community and giving us some really good reasons why. If you'd like to find out more information, grab your pen and write down this information right on the bottom of the screen. Contact us and we'll make sure that we get you in touch with Eugene so that you can get the exact information that you're looking for. What if I had a business, Eugene, that I wanted to list and list in your book? Do I have to go through making sure that I get together with somebody to make my ad and all that? Usually it's a lot of work to put an ad together. Do you have people in your staff to help me with that?
Absolutely, we do. That's rolling to the cost. We will devise the ad for you. We'll do the layout for you. We have graphic artists who will be happy to do that for you.
Very good, very good. Now that helps a lot. Eugene, you're pretty popular in our community as doing a lot of different things. What else are you into right now?
Well, I am a playwright. That is my first love. And you mentioned my show, The Fuzzy Wuzzy Man.
Yeah, the Fuzzy Wuzzy Man. What kind of show is that?
Well, The Fuzzy Wuzzy Man, one of his credos is that thoughts are things. Like birds, they take swing and sing. And so your thoughts, according to The Fuzzy Wuzzy Man, dictates the quality of your life. Your thoughts are very, very important.
Very good. Well, and where is this play going to be? Is it scripted to or scheduled to be at
We
some
are
place now?
looking at either the DuSable Museum or Harold Washington Cultural Center. By the way, both of them are clients of ours.
Very good. I've recently been to the Harold Washington Cultural Center, first class operation. Yes. I also want to know about it. Are there any workshops or meetings with other business people? Do I get a chance to network with some of these folks? If I have a business idea, if I want to start a business, it seems to me that this book might contain a couple of mentors.
Right.
Huh?
Right.
You
right.
think so?
Mentors are always important, and we do monthly events. We had an event last month at the Legacy Banquet Facility, and so you can come out monthly, dial into that number, keep abreast of the events that we do, because we believe that by getting to know each other, that we should do business with people that we know, we trust, and we like.
Very good. People that we know, like, and trust. That's who we're supposed to do business with, right?
Yes.
Now, you mentioned this that these monthly meetings are at the Legacy Center. Where is this?
Well, the Legacy is 11901 South Loomis.
Okay, and 11901 South Loomis. And do you do this on the same day every month?
We do it on the fourth Saturday of the month.
Very good, very good. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want more information, the numbers are on the bottom of the screen right here. Make sure that you give us a call. We're going to hook you up. We're going to make sure that you know how you can come there. Now, I want to know if I'm just getting to the point, of trusting some of these businesses that are listed in the Black Pages here. I found a couple that I've done business with too. How do I go about letting other people know? I mean, I want to be able to help them advertise past the Black Pages. How do I help them?
Well, I said that you need to exercise your sphere of influence. There are people that you know, and we encourage you to share that information with them. And once you begin to do that, and we also want you to mirror the efforts of the Empowerment Rendezvous Group, get people to go out and to test become even a secret shopper. Go to a business and determine whether the bathroom is clean, whether the signage is there, whether they're picking up the phone on the first call. Find out whether or not this is a business that you want to make a long-term relationship with. It's your responsibility to do that.
Well, you really hit on something there when you talk about become a secret shopper. If I'm a secret shopper in a African American owned business, what's the best way that I can help that business rather than criticize them openly in the public and making them seem weaker? How could I go about helping them to grow?
Tell them how they can improve the quality of service that they're providing. Talk to them, cultivate a relationship with them, because that business owner potentially can provide internship and a scholarship to your child or your children. So you want to work with them, and you don't work with them by going into the business, and if the bathroom isn't clean or they're not providing quality service, that you just walk out. Tell him and give him or her an opportunity to improve the quality of service or product that they provide. You determine that.
Now, in the few minutes that we have left in this show, I want you to look in the camera, talk to these folks who have taken the time to listen and look at you. And I want you to tell them why they need to be involved with the Black Pages.
The Black Pages is a vehicle to bring quality life, safety, health, and wealth to your community. And it is your responsibility to find those kinds of business owners and to cultivate a relationship with them. You are the key. By utilizing your time and your dollars, and if you're a business owner, your product and your service, you can expand and promote that business and enhance the quality of life in your own community. You hold that power. Use it wisely.
Really good, really good. Eugene, you mentioned that you were with Christ Universal Temple's Toastmaster group. Tell us about the Toastmaster group first, because some of us, and especially me, I need help in learning how to speak better. And I need to know about the Toastmasters group, and tell us a little bit about the Christ Universal Temple for those of us that don't know about it.
Well, Christ Universal Temple was founded by the great Dr. Johnny Coleman. The Toastmasters Club there is one of many Toastmasters Club there at Christ Universal, but certainly being able to master language is a key to civilization, is a key to having a quality of life in your community, because many of your challenges or problems can be solved simply by using words to communicate. And so Toastmasters is a vehicle to that. There are Toastmasters Club all over the U.S. Join one, improve your communication skills, and it will take you anywhere you want to go.
You know, I want to mention about the great Johnny Coleman, Reverend Johnny Coleman. I remember when I was selling carpet some 30 years ago. I was a carpet salesman for Imperial Carpets, and one of the first major jobs that I had was for Johnny Coleman. Now, this was before Christ Universal Temple was built, and I did her home. She has a beautiful, beautiful home in Hyde Park at 48th and Green, I think it was. And I was so proud to be able to do the incredible Johnny Coleman's home. But more than that, because I was working for a black-owned business, she could have went anywhere. I'm talking about because she had money to go anywhere she wanted. But she kept the money at home, and we recirculated that money. Furthermore, Johnny Coleman took me and about 7 other people to a location at 95th and Stony Island. There was an empty field. It used to be called Funtown, and it was torn down. You remember Funtown?
Yes, I do.
Right. Richard Peggy used to sing about it, or wrote a song about it. But at any rate, we were in a circle, and I watched this woman, ladies and gentlemen, and Eugene, I watched her. She made a circle, and she said, "Lord, I know I don't have the money to pay for this land, but I'm going to build a temple here. I'm going to." That was the original location that she wanted to build. She says, "I don't know how I'm going to get the money, but we're going to ask you to keep the money at home." I didn't know what she was saying then, but it's the same thing that you said, Jane.
Yes.
The exact same thing that you said. And so thank you, Johnny, for that. I appreciate and love you for that. We went on to be able to provide miles and miles of carpet for her, for people that came to Christ Universal Temple, and we were able to sustain our business through Johnny Coleman, who introduced us to other churches. So you're right. You're right. If you give somebody a chance, and they're able to show the work that they can do, and that they actually do good work and are conscientious, that you don't have any problems in referring them. So I want you to refer some of the playwrights, that you know that you work with. I want you to refer the businesses that you have put in the book here, and I want you to refer them right now. What are 2 or 3 of the best businesses that you really like out of this book?
Chandler Roofing is a great one.
Chandler Roofing.
Yeah.
Okay. Why?
Chandler Roofing comes out in a timely fashion, does conscientious work. If you have any challenge, Mr. Chandler will make sure that he is, in his words, completely honest in terms of the service that he will provide you.
Very good. We had 2 more minutes. So give me 2 more.
Thomas, the insurance exchange. Thomas Crosby is out in Oak Forest, and Thomas's business is booming. He is expanding his insurance operation into several states. If you need insurance, go to Thomas, go to the insurance exchange. And of course, Kirkwood and Associates. If you want a conscientious accountant or tax preparer, go to Kirkwood and Associates. They will do a fantastic job.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, you have to know that this is cable TV. We don't sell on this TV. We don't sell on this channel. We're not trying to sell on this channel. So the management that's listening, you need to know what we're doing is building our community. We have to refer business to one another. We have to try and recirculate these dollars within our community. Remember, the African American dollar is 1.2 trillion spent in this country annually. We need to be able to make that count for something. And you can do it. All you have to do is trust and get up off of your behind and tell somebody about it. Have a good day, and make sure that you know that We've Got Something to Say is on a weekly basis. You'll have a different host probably next time, but I'm so glad to do it. My name is Mark Stevenson. My guest was Eugene Dillanado. We appreciate it very much, Eugene. Thank you. Good night, folks.